Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I would like to guide you on the Master of Jianghu for season 4. So this is gonna be the new season, and yes, I already have gotten it, and it only been a couple of days. So just like you guys who are struggling to find out what weapons are supposed to do what, I had to find out the hard way, and I'm just gonna try to, ease your way to getting this title for this season. So I don't know if anyone usually makes videos like this, but I think I might, be the first one to make it for this season, and as we go along. So just to prove to you that I did get it, let's go to my path guide, right? And all your paths right here, we see that I can claim the new season challenge. Now I have 4 Master of Jianghu in my badges. The Master of Jianghu. Now I can just put this on. So yeah, I've been pretty busy. So I got 100% in Qinghe and Kaifeng as well. I'm gonna go for Heshi, Imperial Palace, and everything else. So yeah, I've been pretty busy. For the last time I made a video was my 222 days account where I didn't do all those. And then after that, I felt like doing everything. I should have made the video now so that I have everything completed. And then you guys will be like, wow, this guy really, really plays the game. He really loves the game, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need to complete 8 out of 10 or 8 out of 9 weapon sets. So the one that I'm going to exclude, I'm sorry for you guys, Bamboo Cut Wind. I don't play this and I don't like to play this. So I won't be able to tell you how to do this weapon. But I'm pretty sure if you are a main for Bamboo Cut Wind, you'll probably know how to get through all your season challenges quite easy. Now, I do have to say that this season is so much harder than the other seasons because the other season I can get it in 1 day. This one I had to get it in 2 to 3 days. Yeah, brace yourself for a long grind for the title. So why don't I start with Bellstrike Splendor over here. I think you're only gonna be revealed 1 at a time for the season challenge, or 1 or 2 at a time for the season challenge, which cannot stack. So I will show you all of them right here so that you can kind of be ready for it. The first one, your Martial Art Mastery 1, defeat any solo mode boss and release this triple sword energy from the nameless. Okay, so you're gonna equip all of your nameless stuff. Just note that if you are doing Master of Jianghu and if this is your first time doing it, you do need to have both weapons set the same path. Otherwise, you won't be able to complete it. Now, for the inner way, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have all of the same path, but I suggest you probably will want to have all of the same path when you're doing trials, because trials, it will kind of equalize your gear. So you won't need to worry about having like tier 6 inner way. So anyways, so the 3 thing is you just do this and then you just charge and then you'll summon 3 of these. So you have to do that for at least 3 times triple sword energy. So you have to do that 3 times for a boss. And so you got to make sure that the solo mode boss will be able to tank those 3 hits. So normally the tip that I have for this is you would want to fight a boss that has 3 phases. So I completed this by doing Ting Ying. If you go over to Halo Peak, this guy, he has 3 phases. So the first phase you release 3 and then he'll basically phase to the next phase, and then you release another 3. He'll basically phase to the next one and you release another 3, and you'll get that done easily on Halo Peak. Now you can, obviously do whatever you want to do for your way, but yeah, note that you cannot do trials since it says solo boss only, so you can't do trials for that. Unlike other seasons where you can do solo mode or trials, but this one you can only do the solo mode bosses. Can't really do trials here. Okay, so now, the second one is defeat any solo mode boss, restoring endurance 3 times through Nameless Spirit martial arts skill. So, for these 2, actually, you can stack them. So, if you're doing a solo boss, you just do the Nameless Q, Quinn's Lock, and then you do your Nameless Sword 3 energy. So, basically, what that is if you switch over to your thing, it's your little stun movement, your X button or your Q for keyboards. So that's what you would do, and you gotta do that 3 times, and then you'll be able to complete that task. Okay, and then now you're gonna go to the Moon Gazing Maiden. So this one, you don't really have to worry about anything for the Nameless Sword, because this is gonna be the second phase. And the second phase, you are automatically swapped to a weapon where you have to deflect and then release sword energy. So if you don't remember fighting this boss, let's show you how she looks like so you kind of remember how. So it's this person right here, the Moon Gazing Maiden. So the second phase is where you will be able to complete that task. Okay, and then after that, then you will have your fifth one, their season challenge, will just be defeating the Ironheart Centipede under 4 minutes hard abyss. So there's really no guide for that. So hopefully you will now have a better idea on how to complete the Bellstrike Splendor path. Now, it's pretty straightforward for that path, but other paths are going to be a little bit more confusing. So why don't we hop over to the Bellstrike Umbra. Our first one is basically any solo boss inflicting damage 10 times with a 5 stack bleed effect by strategic sword. So basically you need to apply 5 stacks of bleed, and then you just hit the boss 10 times, and then you will be able to get this done. So it's not that you have to apply 5 stacks of bleed 10 times, it's you apply it once and then you just damage the boss 10 times with the regular attack, and then you can get this done. And then the next one is hitting enemies 5 times with the Zenith Sword, performed through Strategic Sword Special Kill Inner Balance Strike 3. So basically that will be your Q skill and your final Q skill. So basically you do this and then you press it again and then you will activate it. Now you can't activate it if you don't have the inner way. So you go and equip your inner way for the Sword Horizon, and now you can do it. So we'll do it now. So you have to inflict it 5 times. So you gotta go boom, 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 and then boom. And then you will complete that. Okay, now the next one is defeat any online mode boss inflicting high bleed damage on enemies 10 times with the strategic while under river flow or empowered river flow state. So what that means is that you need your Heaven Quaker Spear out and you need your strategic sword. So normally when you want to do your online, right, I normally go for the easier bosses for online, like maybe sword trials, and then I go to like a lower level so that, you know, I can finish it quick enough. I normally do like either this guy or the Void King because they don't move around too much. But let's go with this guy just to show you what you need to be doing here for the online boss one. So it says apply 10 times high bleed damage. What that means is that you need to explode the bleed. Okay, so make sure you equip your Heaven Quaker Spear, this thing here, Wolf Chaser's Art, because that's going to help you achieve the river flow quicker. And why not just do that? Okay. So I want you to try to pay attention to the bleed stack that the boss will have. So where the bleed stack will look like, it's going to be right under the boss's health bar and chi bar. And just look at that buff stack, okay, while I do this. And what I normally do to achieve the 10, I just do one of this, and that'll give 4 stacks of bleed. And then I switch over to Heaven Quaker Spear, and then I press Q. And this will get me my buff for River Flow. And you have to hit the boss with it, obviously. So that will get you your River Flow, and then you switch back to your Strategic Sword, and you could just do this. And that's a little too slow to pop the bleed. I normally would just do this one and to pop the bleed, or this one, and that will also pop the bleed. So you want to try to get as many of those in as long as your river flow is up. So again, you have to apply some bleed stacks onto the boss, which I'm going to do right now, and look where the buff and the debuff is on the boss. So he has 3 stacks of bleed. I'm going to use Heaven Quaker Spirit. There we go. If you look at the bottom where my buff are, it says river flow, and that's the time that is going to go. It's the first one that you see. I don't know how to use the mouse to hover over it, but it's next to a 4 horse. Okay. And then that's how long your river flow is up. And if it's gone, you'll have to do it again. So apply stacks of bleed again. So there you go. He has 4 stacks. I'm going to go and use Heaven Quaker Q. And now I have the buff again for river flow. And then I just go and apply and pop the 5 bleed every time. So I'm going to pop it with this. I'm going to pop it with this. Okay. So once you do your online mode boss, and got that out of the way, now you have to do the Maiden Gazing Maiden in Trials, the same one that you would fight with the Splendor path, the one nameless path. But this time you need to use your River Flow, which I just showed you how to get, with your Heaven Quaker Spear 2 times. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, you apply some bleed onto the boss, make sure it doesn't pop, and then use your Heaven Quaker Spear Q, and you will be able to get it 2 times. So yeah. It is a challenge to try to get this against Moon Gazing Maiden since she's kind of difficult. But normally I will set these trials on easy, where it recommends it doesn't tell you whether you could do it on hard or not. So I use it all in easy, so that will make things a little bit easier. And then the last challenge is your hard one. So this one is the new boss that you'll get from doing your campaign for Hidden Mountain. And yeah, this video is not going to tell you how to defeat them, like how to analyze their attack. I think there are a lot of other players who does a better job, so go and look up their videos on how to beat their bosses easier. But for me, I just want to let you know how to complete the season challenges in terms of how to use the weapons. So this video won't be too long. Okay, so that will be the Umbra. If you have any questions about Umbra path, just comment down below. I'll be sure to answer it for you. So now we go to Stone Might. So you want to do your tank build. So right here it says any solo boss, you can stack these two. Any solo boss performing a defensive riposta of Thunderblade 3 times. Deploy. So that's when you're holding your block button, and then when the enemy attack you while you're holding block, you get this special key, and then you just use that to attack. So let me show you that really quickly. And then the breakthrough effect is the Thunder Cry, and you would need your Stormspeaker Spear for this. So why don't we... Okay, so I am in a online boss, but you have to do this in solo. I just want to show you what it tells you or what it means. So for the one that says you need to riposte, say, or whatever that thing is, it's this one. So just hold your block, and then see that special key, you just do that, and that's what you gotta do. So that's will take care of that. So that will be that for the 3 times. You have to do it 3 times. And then you will do the Thundercry Blade breakthrough effect. So what that means is that you go to your Stormspeaker Spear, you press the Q like this, and you switch back over, and you see the red shield. That is your breakthrough. And you have to do that 3 times. You could do that all in just one solo boss, so they stack together, so you don't have to do it separately. So once you do that 3 times, then you unlock this one, which is online mode, Stonebreaker Thundercry Blade 6 times while under breakthrough effect. Okay, so basically for the 6 times while under breakthrough, that means you have to do your breakthrough thing that I just showed you at first. And then you will hold your charge button, which is your heavy attack. And then once you charge it all the way up, then you release it, and you keep on releasing it. And you'll do it like twice, so you hit it 2 times with that attack. So what that means is, watch over here. I'm going to open up with this. I'm going to break through with the shield. And then I'm going to hold here. Charge it there. And then I slam. Slam again. Slam again. Slam again. Just like that. That will be the breakthrough. Okay, so now your next one will be the Pocket Rupt Circus Trial. So you have to enter your trial mode. And this time, you're going to perform the Stonebreaker twice under the Mountain Shaker state. That means that... you're going to charge up the attack during the moment when the boss is executable. So what that will look like is, let's try to break this guy's keybar first. So you do not need to do the Stormspeaker stuff and then, do the breakthrough. So this one will just require you to just like hold the charge button and you'll get it right away. So right here, if you hold it, and go through. Now you're under the mountain effect, and this is what it counts as your thing for that completion. So don't worry, when you're doing the trial version, it's gonna take a lot longer. The fight will be a lot longer. You will be able to get a couple of those off, so you'll be able to complete it. So I know at first the previous clip it kind of looked the same thing, but the previous clip is that you need to do this, and then hold, and then do that. And then that. So that will what you need to do for that other one. Okay, and so once you get that, and then the next one is just defeat this guy in hard. So I think that's pretty straightforward. So that will be it for your Stonesplit Might. Now for Silkbind Jade. So this one I was a little confused of. It took me a while to figure out what the hell is what they are talking about. So luckily you have me to help you solve this. So, well, first one is landing 15 hits with the Umbra light charge attack, spring away. So basically you're just holding your light action charge key. So why don't we just equip all of that right now? So you'll just take your umbrella out and you just hold this and that's basically the 15 hits. Very, very simple. And that will be your X button on the, you know, or light key, like a light attack key for your keybind. Okay, next one is landing 30 projectile hits while under the projectile enhancement state. So basically you will need to use your fan and do that, and then go and do this 30 hits, and you should be good. And then the next one, this one was the one that I did not know how to do for the longest time. So for this one, you would actually need to use your fan, and you're gonna use this, and then you will knock them up like normal. So I've been doing it wrong because you would actually need to do it on the boss to be able to get that tenacity to get the 5 hits instead of the 3. So if you just do it normally like this, you only see 3 hits, right? That's not good enough. You need to do the 5-hit one. The 5-hit version is use your fan and do this, and then now you can do it 5 hits. Make sure that the wall hits the boss. If it doesn't hit the boss, you will not be able to do that 5-hit fan. So make sure you hit the boss with this, and go and you can do your 5-hit. Now, another way to get that air, if you have ran out of cooldown, you should just charge your weapons with your light attack key and just throw the tornado like this. And then once that hits the boss, you can go and hit him with the Y. I'm gonna go and do the Jade thing. And I'm gonna hold that key. Boom. Now I can go and hit him 5 times. There you go. So that's how you would do it if you don't have, you know, the cooldowns for this. And you have to do it every time, so you must get this up every time. And there is a cooldown for how many times you could do it. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 seconds. I can't see it, but there's a yellow indicator on your buff bar, like right there. If you see it, that's when you cannot do the attack until that cooldown is up. So that will be done on an online boss. And then the next one is defeat Ghostmaster in Trials without being hit by the red spider lily. So that's the red flower that comes down and explodes. So you want to try to avoid that. Most of the times you can avoid it by just having your umbrella out and do a jump and then do this. You can avoid the red spiders by doing this. So how did I do that? So I just jump, I press LT and then Y, and I'm just staying in the air. I don't know what the button is for keyboard. Oh, squiggly line? You jump up, squiggly line, and you're just holding up in the air for your keyboard. I don't know if you bind that key to squiggly, but that's squiggly. Alright. Okay, and that does it for your Silkbind Jade. So yeah, that red, literally that, and then your defeat is the Chi Chow again, 4 minutes hard. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now, Bamboo Cut Wind. I told you I don't play this build. I don't like this build. I hate this build. I don't like twin darts or twin whatever blades. So sorry for your twin blade users out there. I have PTSD when I first started playing this game. I get demolished by Bamboo Cut Wind so many times that I just hate them so much because they just stagger you to infinity. But now I know how to fight against them, so it's not too bad in PvP anymore. Okay, so next one is going to be your water healing. Very, very straightforward. All you do is you just need an online boss for all of them. And yeah, basically very, very, very straightforward. Just do a very easy online boss and you can get them. So the first one is, okay, so once you have your fan, your healing fan equipped, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just spammed all of the healing things that I can with this build, and then it just automatically filled every single one of these. So please forgive me if I'm wrong about which one is which, but I believe the Cloud Burst healing is when you have 5 dews. So you see at the water drop where my fan is, you're gonna go, let me see if I can use the mouse. Okay, right here. So you see this right here, you need this 5 here. In order for you to do that, you gotta just use your heavy attack to charge this up quickly. And then once you have 5, you just press your Q button. And then you press Q again, and that gives you that burst healing. So you gotta do that 30 times. So again, if you want to charge up the thing, you just keep pressing your heavy attack, and that will charge up your Morning Dew. And the next one is Soul Shade Umbrella Martial Arts Floating Grace 6 times. So that's basically your umbrella, and you press your Q, or my X button. And it basically looks like that. And that will apply the buff to your partners. And you have to do that 6 times. So the next one is healing yourself and allies with the Panacea Fan's martial arts skill or Emerald Do Touch 20 times. So I don't know the difference between this, the Cloud Burst healing, and the Emerald Do Touch, the 30 times and the 20 times. I was able to complete these by just spamming the whichever, the Emerald Do Touch, the one that gives you that red button. So here, I just spam this. I spam that all the time and then I just get it. And then I just press my heavy attack to charge up the thing. So I'm not sure which one is which, unless it's like one of them is the buff and one of them is without the buff. But I was able to complete it with just all buff. I didn't really do it without the buff. Buff as in like getting the Morning Dew to 5 and using the healing. But yeah, if you're a healer out there, you can correct me if I'm wrong about it. I'm not too sure about it, but I was able to do it easily like that. As well as the Endless Cloud 10 times. I don't even know what this is too. I got it anyways. Okay, so the Endless Cloud is the buff with the healing, and then the Cloud Burst healing is just without it. But you could just accomplish all of these by just healing. Alright, so that's that for the healer build. It's not too complicated. Okay, let's skip the healing now and go to Bamboo Cut Dust. So this one also took me a little bit to understand as well. So defeat any solo mode boss performing 6 perfect umbrella catches during the Ever Spring. So these two can stack with each other as long as you have the Phantom Umbrella. Instances of, so basically you just equip your Inner Ways. And then you'll create a Phantom Umbrella. So once you get your Inner Ways equipped. Okay, so when you're doing the catching, basically you do this and then you catch at the right time. You see how there's a shiny thing. Once that shiny thing pops and you have to press it again, and then that will trigger the attack that you need to complete. So basically you can only do that 3 times per cooldown. So that means you have to do it 2 times for you to accomplish the 6 perfect catches. And then that will also it'll go along with your dealing this one with the Phantom Umbrella. That's when you equip the Inner Way to help that part as well. Now for the online, you have to perform 10 perfect catches, but you have to be during soul return. So that means you have to, this time you'll need to bring out your rope dart. Your rope dart, right? And you have to look at the debuff on the boss. So if you look at the debuff on the boss, there's a ghost icon, and after that ghost, it goes to 6. And then you want that to have another ghost. So now that has that other ghost, now you can do the catches. So after that, you can throw your umbrella so many more times instead of the 3 times. So that's when you know you have that soul return buff on. That means that when you throw your umbrella, you could do it more than 3 times. Otherwise, it will only be 3 times if you do not have that ghost buff that you just saw. Okay, and then the next one would be complete the Wukong trial, casting the unfettered rope dart special skill burn and bury on enemies under soul break. So yeah, that's the same thing as you want to apply that buff, and then you will use your triangle button. So to show you what that will look like. So it's that little bullet at the end that you hit them at range. So first you have to stack up the ghost return thing. So now he's stacked. Now I will use my there. And you will know that you got that buff if the boss slows down. That means you have done it correctly. If the boss does not slow down when you hit him with that range attack, then it is not good. So right now, if I hit him right now, he doesn't slow down. So that's why, because he doesn't have the 2 ghost or that extra ghost on his debuff bar. But when you apply it, so now he'll slow down when I apply the buff. So I'm gonna attack him like this. Boom, now he has the debuff. Boom. So he slowed down right there, as you saw. So that ghost debuff that you need. So after 6 hits. So you usually would charge up your weapon like this to apply the ghost. And that's how you can get it easier. You don't have to press the Q button to get the ghost. And the next one is defeat the thing on hard. So pretty straightforward on that one. Okay, on to the next one, Stonesplit Strength. Okay, so we're gonna have a solo boss release Snow Parting Blade, heavy attack, very combo, Snow Break Spring 3 times, triggered by successful deflection. And then you also need to land 3 hits with Snow Parting Blade, Enhanced Martial General, Bone Stab. Okay, so you could get these two in one go. So the first one is basically always make sure to equip your inner ways for your appropriate weapons. The Snow Parting Blade is this one right here, your special key. That's the Snow Parting Blade. So you have to do that 3 times. So the next one is the Snow Parting Blade Enhanced Martial Art General Bane Stab. So that's the one where you use the LTY button. Your basically, I don't even know what key that is on the keyboard. R? Squiggly line. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. And then you use your Q button, and that's the stab that you want to have. If you do not do the first one first, you will not be doing the stab. So basically what it will look like if you did not do the squiggly one first, it will look like this. See that spin? You don't want the spin, you want the stab. And in order for you to get the stab, you have to do this first, and then you do that attack, then you'll get your stab. So that's what the stab is talking about. Okay, so the next one is your Burning Heart. So basically to create the General Bane Stab, you will need to use that key. Again, that's important for you to gain the buff Inner Passion State. So that's where you will go for the next one. That's what it's called, Inner Passion State. So in order for you to perform this one, fully charged 3, you will need the extra thing here. You will need the inner way that gives you 3 attacks instead of 1. So this one, Fouling Space, Heart Ablaze gains the 3rd stage charge attack. You will need to equip this one, Steadfast Devotion. And once you do, so again, we're gonna go and you got a buff like this, Iron Armor first, and then you do this to get the Inner Passion, and then you charge, and then you summon your 3, and then you slam like that. So that will accomplish that line of it. So again, you buff with this, you attack with this, get all that buff, and then you hold down your heavy button, you summon those 3, and then you slam. That's where you will accomplish that line. And make sure to read what bosses you can need to do it on. So if it says any solo boss, you do it solo boss only. And if it says online boss, only online boss. So make sure you know that. Otherwise, you know, if you keep doing it and you're just like, why is it not working? It's because you weren't doing it on a specific boss that it tells you to. So for the next one is the Angshi Soldiers. Very easy to land for a Snow Plum. So that's just basically buffing with your this key, and you could use this. Those are your soldiers. You could do that. Those are your soldiers as well. So for the sword, you have to buff first. Okay, then you would do your Snow Parting Blade like this, and that will be also your soldiers as well. So any of these Angshi soldiers will count towards that line. And then that will be it for the Stonesplit Strength. And then Jianghu, you just kill him hard. Alright, and then last but not least is the Bamboo Cut Gauntlets. Okay, so now for the gauntlets. So you're just landing 15 hits with the Falcon by using your Heaven Guard light combo attack or skill. So very simple, it's just using your gauntlet. Just this, your light attack. You're just landing 15 of these and then you're done for that line. Very, very simple. And for this one, any solo boss is 2 hits of Just Verdict. That's your charge skill. So basically you will need to get enough. Basically, you're right down here. You need to get at least 2 to 3, depending on your inner way that you have. You get 3, you charge up your attack, and then you will attack them. So in order for you to charge this up, you just light attack as many times to charge it up, and then you charge with your heavy attack. So let me show you that very quickly. So boom, 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 boom. Every time the bird flies and hits them, it's going to gain some of that little charge. So now you charge like this. I'm holding heavy attack, and you just hit like that. So you're charging here, and then you attack. So that is the Just Verdict that I just mentioned. Now those two are pretty straightforward. You're not really buffing or anything for these two. Now the next ones, you're gonna need to do it on a specific boss. So it's the same thing here. So you saw that I was fighting Nameless General at first, and that's landing 2 hits with the Just Verdict end. So same idea. For the online one, you land 15 hits with Falcon while under oneness state. So you have to do an extra step than just landing the 15 hits over here. So I want to show you what the oneness state looks like. So you want to begin with your rope dart, and you're going to use this key, this number right here. So once you use that, it will apply a buff you see over here, and that is your oneness. So let's go and look. Boom. And you see here, that is the amount of time you have right here to do your fists. So you just hit them 15 times, and you can just do that all the time until this is gone, and then you switch back to your rope dart, and then it'll use the button again, and then you will be able to accomplish this. That's where you get your oneness. Okay, so that actually does it for the entire run, I think, right? If I miss anything, let me know down in the comments, but hopefully you will have a, easier time getting the Master of Jianghu this season, now that you kind of understand all the weapon styles that you need to do. So in conclusion, last kind of tip or kind of refresh your memory, go after the online bosses that are like a kind of low to medium level, so that you could accomplish what you need and then end the match quickly, instead of fighting someone at level 91 where it takes a long time, especially when you're doing it solo queue. So if you have friends to help do it with you, then albeit you could be fast with any of the levels. But if you're doing it with AI, that's when you want to kind of level down a little, so that you could accomplish what you need and also don't waste time, spamming the attacks, because these bosses are really tanky at higher levels with AI. And then another tip is, when you're doing the trial stuff, if it doesn't say you need to do it in hard or abyss, make sure you do it in easy to have yourself a easier time. And as for the inner ways, when you're doing in trials, all the inner ways are balanced, so you don't have to worry about upgrading them. And for the solo bosses that you do on your offline mode, you don't need any of the inner ways to be +1 or any tiers at all for you to accomplish what you need. I basically accomplished every single one of them without having any tiers for any of them. So you can do it without worrying about upgrading your inner ways for that particular slot or your particular weapon that you're trying to get. Okay, oh man, that was a long video. I am so exhausted. Hopefully, I probably made a mistake here or there, one or two. But if you like the video, like it and let me know how it goes when you are trying this out. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and like the video if you would like it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.